You're listening to the Virtual Assistant Podcast, interviews and lessons to help you with your virtual assistant career. Today we interview Jason Dumana. He shares how he earns between 200 and 300,000 pesos every month, his tips for creating cover letters, and how patience is important. Hi Jason, thanks for joining us.
Yeah, thanks for having me, Jason. Can I call you Buloy?
What's with Buloy?
Kaparehong pangalan. Yun lang.
Well,
I'm just referring to Parokya ni Edgar na song. So.
Oh yeah, Hoy Hoy Buloy. Anyway, can you tell us more about yourself, Jason?
Well, I'll start with my experience with the BPO or the corporate world per se.
Sure.
So I worked initially as an account specialist, or quote unquote technical support representative for a American GPS company. I worked there for like 2 years. Then after 2 years, of course, I asked my mother to get me transferred to their own account itself. So after that, I was exposed to B2Bs. So I was handling all inquiries from retailers in the U.S. So I stayed there for 5 years. Worked my butt out to be one of the top agents. Unfortunately, it didn't work out for me. So what I did, one day I noticed that my wife is doubling around on some sites, and I noticed that she was checking on a site called Odes. Mm-hmm. It was Odes at that time. That was sometime in 2012, maybe. Yeah, 2012. So I got curious, of course, and it started from there. Nung time na medyo nahihirapan ako sa work because hindi na nagiging consistent yung yung anong tawag dito, yung mga inputs ko, HTs, yung mga ganun. I decided na just to call it off and transition to freelancing.
Okay.
June, around na nun din yun, within sa June 2012 yun na mga banda. So, mga 4 years na rin.
Okay, and
going 5 years na freelance.
How has it been for the past 5 years? Or 4 or 5 years?
It was tough at first. It was tough, really tough. Especially sa paghanap ng gigs, projects. It was really tough. Hindi ko kasi alam kung ano yung approach. Kasi for 5 years straight, nasanay ako na andito sa ganitong cubicle, andito sa ganitong box. So, nahirapan din ako kahit paano, just like everyone else. Nahirapan sa pag-adjust sa time, kahit nasabihin na natin medyo night shift yung una kong gig. Nahirapan pa rin. One thing na ang napansin ko kaya ako nahirapan yung bukod sa approach, yung ginawa kong extension yung job ko sa dun sa previous job ko. So nag-transition ako from tech support to tech support. So parang wala ring nangyari. So nag-work ako as tech support sa isang Australian-based company. And nagtagal lang ako mga 6 months. So from June or July, nag-start ako ng August 2012. Then siguro mga January and the next year hindi nag-workout ulit. So nag-struggle talaga. Tapos naghanap ako ng mga pwede kong pag-aralan. And then I stumbled upon sa SEO na part.
Okay.
Andun yung SEO, at the same time, andun yung sa virtual assistant.
Okay. So you started out when you started up, you said you were doing tech support via Odesk, right?
Odesk and Elance.
Odesk and Elance. And you said you encountered a lot of challenges. So what do you think was the biggest challenge? Like aside from you just doing tech support again, which is the job you left, except you're just at home, what was the other biggest challenge you faced adjusting from working in a BPO or corporate and then moving on to online?
Okay. Yung mga challenge, I think there were three challenges at least, and I can say na nahirapan ako sa pag-overcome ng challenges. Number one, yung sa price setting. Kasi based na kita ko sa job fees, sa Elance, ganun din, pababaan. Na-experience mo naman siguro yun ni Jason na makakita mo na.
Yeah.
But ganito, masyado mababa. Imbis na tumaas, kunyari, ang isang job listing na posted online or sa platform na yun, ang budget nila per hour is 5. Imbis na tumaas sana yung pag-pay, naging trend ko nun, nagiging approach ko nun, mag-compete ako sa price mismo. So may nag-bid, i-outbid ko siya ng siguro mga 4. So hanggang pababaan.
Yeah. It's the lowest the lowest price. And is that something that you'd recommend to newcomers to freelancing?
No. It's a big no. Kung may magi-start sa ngayon, sa mga nakikinig sa podcast mo, sa mga nagi-start ngayon, I think i-check nila kung ano talaga yung value na pwede nila ibigay sa market. Let's say, kung ako, ang isa sa mga interest ko noon, or I mean, lagi kong ginagawa, is yung sa paggawa ng logo. So kung meron kang skill na alam mo, and alam mong ibenta sa market, huwag mo naman babaan yung price. Kasi ikaw rin mag-i-struggle. Balik ako dun sa value. As long as alam mo yung worth mo, let's say, ang market or ang general pricing range ng market sa category ng logo make is $8 an hour. Just i-meet mo yun, $8 an hour. Kung kaya mo kung comfortable ka na maging 9 or 10, do it.
So the difficulty there is with newbies. Newbies don't have any idea kasi they're working, let's say in a BPO, you're earning essentially less than $2 an hour, sometimes even like $1 something an hour. So when you start working from home, the mindset is usually you're still new here, so I should go for the lowest rate. Right now the lowest is $3 and upward, so I should go for $3. So how does a newcomer rate themselves and be able to measure themselves in that way?
Gaya ng sa kanina, mas ganda na i-check talaga yung skills. Kung paano i-rate, let's say, alam ko na nagiging sa kung customer service part.
Oh, Jason?
Yes.
Yeah, we're cutting in and out really bad.
Sorry.
I think it's the connection.
Ito, okay na?
I don't know.
Okay. Yung connection mo lang na dito.
I'm hitting 13 Mbps here. Yeah, but you're cutting in and out.
How about this one?
Yeah, I think that's better.
Tumayo na lang ako. Akala baka sa headset ko kasi medyo naglolo ko eh. Kaya akong tinanong kung audio podcast ba or video podcast kanina.
Sige. Let's just go back to the last question. So how does a newcomer rate themselves? You know, if you look on Upwork, you look at other freelancers, let's say for VA or admin tasks, sometimes you see $3 an hour, some are $5, some even go up to 20 and 25. So how does a newcomer know where to start?
Kung sa mga newcomers, I suggest na i-consider ang $5, ang price sa range ng $5 to 10. Kasi mas magiging komportable ka na gawin yun talaga yung task. And mararamdaman na well compensated ka, well appreciated sa mga ibibigay sa iyo ng mga projects ng magiging boss mo. So kung hindi ka maging komportable doon sa range niyo between sa 5 and 10, at least maging 5 ka man lang.
So, how do you compete with those that are charging $3 an hour? If there's a project and then there are two newcomers, one is charging 5, one is charging 3. How does the $5 win the contract?
Ang magiging approach naman dun sa competition part, ang magiging advantage nyo, kahit sabihin na natin bago pa lang, newbie sa Upwork or any freelancing platforms, cover letter, and yung sa tagline. Sa Upwork, tawag dun ata yung tagline field.
Like, I think it's the job title.
Job title.
Yeah.
Yung below ng name mo. Kasi sa dashboard mismo ng client, kung nag-apply ka sa isang gig, ang makikita mismo ng isang client, magre-range ng siguro, including yung name mo and yung sa job title, siguro sabihin na natin mga 200 characters. So, ang lagi kong ginagawa kasi, in-optimize ko lagi based on sa natutunan ko sa SEO. In-optimize ko yung name and yung sa job title and yung first, sabihin na natin, first paragraph ng cover letter ko. It works hand in hand, nagiging binary siya para mapansin ka. Kasi most of the time, sa competition, sa pag-bid ng mga projects, nagiging rampant yung copy and paste. So kung ano yung ginamit nila sa isang project, yun din ang gagamitin nila sa isang project. Nawawala yung customization, nawawala yung personalization, and especially yung hindi mo na answer yung requirements na hinihingi ng isang client. I mean, yung magiging client mo. So once na okay, let's say naghahanap sila ng SEO and sabihin na natin digital agency yung isang magiging client mo, why not optimize mo yung job title, gawin mong SEO Pro for digital agencies. Sa ganun pa lang na strategy, mapapansin agad ng client na meron ka specialization sa industry nila mismo. And you know their language, you know what they need or possible needs, and magkakaintindihan kayo. So cover letter and job title.
Yes, I totally agree with that. In fact, I agree with everything you said, that you should personalize it, make it specific to the jobs you're applying for.
Mm-hmm.
In fact, in my training, I have over, I think it's around 6 hours of videos just talking about job job titles, cover letters, and profile overviews. So there's a lot of focus on that, and yeah, it can really make you stand out against other people with just the profile. So yeah. So Jason, what do you think about, you mentioned that a lot of people just copy and paste their cover letters and you should personalize it. So how long should a cover letter be, do you think?
Sa ngayon, yung sa akin, yung ginagamit ko sa
Yeah, what do you find most
um,
effective when you're writing cover letters? Like, what is it? You make it 5 paragraphs? Do you make it 2 paragraphs?
ako more than 10 eh. Kasi
In your cover letters to clients? Oh.
Oo. Ang ginawa ko kasi, syempre, introduce ko muna yung sarili mo. Introduce ko muna yung sarili ko, tapos in-explain ko agad na I can help you with your project, and let me explain. Tapos, i-explain ko kung ano yung mga requirements na andun sa job listings niya. And siguro sa mga 3 or 4 paragraphs yun, discussing yung requirements lang niya. Tapos, magta-transition ako ngayon dun sa portfolio ko. Parang, anong nangyayari kasi kaya mahaba yung sa cover letter ko, more than 10 paragraphs. Ginaguide ko siya sa mismong profile ko. Hindi man niya nakikita, pero ang sinasabi ko sa kanya, ito si Jason Dumana, SEO guy for digital agencies, and ito yung mga problema mo, ito yung problems mo, ito yung solution ko. Kailangan mo na social proof. Punta sa portfolio ko, tapos dinidiscuss ko I think mga 3 na PowerPoint, images dun sa portfolio ko. Dun ko sila dinadala. Tapos, ibabalik ko ulit dun sa introduction ko, and dun ako magpo-provide ng pinaka-last na page.
Wow, that's a very elaborate and detailed cover letter. So, how long does it take you to write a cover letter?
Yung first time ko nagsulat ng cover letter, umabot ng 1 oras.
Wow.
No. Ganito kasi ang approach ko sa pag-bid. Hindi ako naniniwala sa quantity. Ang napansin ko kasi dati, nung first year ko sa Elance, first year ko sa Odes, or ngayon, Upwork na, sayang yung effort ko sa pag-send. Sa akin lang naman to. Please don't misconstrue yung gusto mong sabihin. Especially sa mga members mo. Sa akin naman, quantity, no yun. Ginagamit ko mismo yung mga filters ng Upwork mismo. So, dun pa lang, before ako mag-bid, pinifilter ko na kung ano yung i-qualify ko as a client.
Yeah. This episode is sponsored by freevacourse.com. Do you want to become a virtual assistant but don't know how to get started? Head on over to freevacourse.com to get an introduction to the virtual assistant career and the steps for you to get started. That's freevacourse.com. And is this how much?
Medyo nawala ata ako.
Okay lang. Don't worry about it.
Nawala ako. Ano yung original question? Sorry.
It's okay. We'll just move on. Nakalimutan ko rin. Anyway, so I also noticed that you have other positions here in your history. You have customer service, you have some assistant work. Do you also provide that detailed a cover letter, 10 paragraphs?
No, not anymore. Yung last na hindi related sa SEO na gig ko, 2013 pa ata yun.
Oo.
Virtual assistants, general. Yun yung medyo hindi magandang nangyari sa akin.
Oh.
Kung magpuproceed ka sa mismong work and history at feedback ko, meron dyang help desk level 1 na nag-input ako ng 541 hours. And from April 2015 to August 2015, or sabihin na natin July 2015, okay yung relationship namin ng medyo I digress na naman, no? Yun. Ang rate ko dito sa pagkakaalala ko na sa 10 general VA tasks.
And what went wrong with that, do you think?
I'll be honest, naging sensitive ako. May nature kasi tayong mga Pinoy na mag-assume minsan na akala mo ikaw na yung pinapatamaan pero hindi naman. So, ang nangyari, may in-approach ako na kapwa ko VA din, pero local yun. Australian based. Local siya. Hindi ko alam na yung VA na yun, anak niya pala.
Wow.
Anak ng boss ko. Anak ng client. So, syempre, kahit ano mangyari, ako versus anak, only daughter. So, ano mangyayari? Kahit ano mangyayari, siya pa rin talaga yung mga kakampihan. And especially, may difference between sa culture mismo. And hindi siya talaga nag-workout. So, mga papansin mo dyan sa help desk level 1, sa last portion dyan, he needs to pursue less technically demanding roles. Disappointing. So, yun. Ang naging problema ko din dito sa mismong help desk ay yung sa feedback. Nirebat ko yan eh. Ang problema, hindi lumalabas. Sa e-lens dati, lumabas.
Yeah, here hindi na. Pero you still have a 100% job success score and you're still top rated in Upwork. How did you do that?
Long-term gigs. Hindi nag-switch talaga ako sa mga yung mga fixed projects. Ngayon puro long-term projects ang long-term per hour projects, and specifically tina-target ko mismo yung mga digital agencies.
Yeah, if it's long-term, I know Upwork it adds a lot of value to long-term contracts rather than short-term ones.
And going back dun sa help desk level 1 naman kasi, okay naman yung yung sa 5 categories na ni-rate niya. Okay naman nasa 4, 4.5, 4.3. Pero dun sa parang related data yung sa ugali, dun lang ako binigyan ng 2.5. So yung input ko, yung sa productivity input, okay naman. So I think kaya naging 100% pa rin yung job success. Not that sure.
Yeah, they have their way of computing it sa Upwork.
Kinontak ko na mismo ang Upwork kung ano yung magiging solution ko dito kasi hindi naman there's obviously there's no chance for me to somehow present myself or explain myself sa possible clients ko. Pero ang ginagawa ko na lang, imbis na ipatanggal ko to, kasi may option naman ngayon ng Upwork na ipatanggal ko.
Yeah, to hide it.
Hindi ko siya hindi na ako nagbaba na ipatanggal. Why? ginagawa ko na kung parang springboard para mag-explain mismo sa client. So, meron ako nakuha ng dahil lang.
You're able to explain it. I was looking at your Upwork profile today, and I was just doing a rough computation of your earnings, if you don't mind, if we can talk about that. So I saw that you earned around between $30 and $40,000 in the past year. Is that accurate?
That's accurate.
Yeah. So
Ito sa Upwork lang yan.
yes, Upwork lang, and you have direct clients, pa, right?
Meron pa.
Yeah. So in 5 years, you're earning, I'd say around 200,000 pesos a month, or higher. So congratulations. That's a very good achievement.
Yes. From 18,000 a month to yung na-compute mo.
More than 10 times over the past 5 years. That's amazing.
Yes, it is. Yeah. Pero grateful ako sa wife ko kasi siya yung nagmamanage ng books. Nag-ano rin siya, nag-VA din, nag-gigs.
So aside from that, she's also working pa rin. Wow.
Yes.
That's nice. So what do you attribute that to, from that big change in income? What's the reason that you can give that you were able to achieve that?
Number one, patience.
Can you elaborate?
Number one, patience. Normal naman na ma-disappoint ang isang freelancer tulad natin. Kung sabihin natin, nag-send ka na ng 10 proposals sa 10 possible clients mo. Wala pa rin talaga. Ang isa sa mga naging adjustments ko is yung mag-antay and to be patient. Binibigyan ko ng time yung sabihin na natin, to be specific, 5 clients na sinendat pa ng mga proposals. Binibigyan ko sila na at least 2 days to respond. At the same time, yung 2 days na yun, nag-assess, nag-audit ako, at the same time, nag-evaluate kung ano yung kailangan improve sa job title, cover letter, specifically dun sa cover letters. Kasi kung mag-send ako lagi, 50-50 na yung 10 proposals na na-send mo. Wala ka ba na-receive na feedback, reply, or any show of interest about sa profile mo and about sa services mo. Siguro that's the time na pwede kang mag-adjust. That's the time na siguro baguhin mo yung first paragraph mo, baguhin yung sa job title, or nagiging factor din yung mismong picture. I hate to say it, pero kung hindi siya yung picture natin, hindi siya mukhang approachable, and too professional, medyo bumabalik yung effect. Nagkakaroon ng adverse effect. Imbis na maging effective sana, nagiging less effective.
So you think more personal is better?
Oh, I think so.
But still, good quality picture. Because I see iba naman, like they're in bed, they take a selfie. I've seen freelancers who do that on Upwork. It's like, okay. Or the low quality photos na parang crop.
Pero kung, sorry to cut you off.
Yeah, go ahead.
Pero kung meron ka ina-eye na isang particular client, na isang industry or isang niche, I think you really have to consider yung medyo casual, business casual na look. Hindi masyadong formal. Yung parang sa Facebook profile mo.
Yeah.
Siyempre. Oo. Kasi tingnan natin. Ako, introvert ako. Mahihain ako mag-approach sa mga tao. Hindi lang ako mahihain sa
sa freelancing platforms, pero sa social media medyo mayayain. So kung hindi ko, by looking at your own profile, Facebook profile, and dun sa mga pinagpo-post mo, I don't think na i-approach kita kung hindi ko napansin and hindi ko nakita na approachable kang tao. So it plays a big factor pa rin kahit pa paano, kasi yun yung una makikita nila eh.
Yeah. So based on what you're telling me, number one, the reason why you were able to jump from more than 10 times your original income from Upwork is number one, patience. Number two, being able to adjust, while waiting, and number three is specializing in a specific area. And of course, the profile. We're always going back to the profile. Even in number two, we're always going back to the profile. So regarding specialization, how did you chose SEO? Originally, you were doing customer service and general VA jobs, right? Would you recommend SEO for somebody who's new, first timer?
Well, depende sa newbie, i-recommend ko. Huwag na muna, siguro mga 6 months. Magantay na muna.
Why?
Kailangan muna nila makita kung ano yung as in magamay yung sistema ng Upwork mismo. Mahirap kasi na mag-jump to one skill to another eh. Let's say sa virtual assistance na industry, marami naman pwedeng i-specialize na under sa ganung category. Pwedeng bookkeeping. Isa sa mga clients ko ngayon naghahanap ng mga bookkeepers from Pinas na virtual assistant. So, let's say, ang pinaka-first gig mo is meron siyang business sa accounting, sa web design. Siguro pwede kang dahan-dahan mag-transition doon. I-discover mo kung ano yung magiging interest mo. And parang tingnan, as in mag-explore na muna. Pero kung wala talaga, I recommend na explore din ang SEO. Madami na nagsasabi na hindi maganda. I mean, hindi siya profitable. Kumbaga, kasi ang daming competition, ang daming nangyayari sa Google's algorithms. So, ang daming updates na nangyayari, ang daming backlash, ang daming negative feedbacks, ang dami pang mga scammers na related sa SEO.
Yeah. But I think what you mentioned is good. If a newcomer would come into working online, working from home, that 6 months is a good amount of time for them, number one, to figure out the system, and number two, figure out what is really a fit for them. Because when you started, you probably didn't even know about SEO, what SEO was, diba? Yeah, same thing with me, and we came across similar routes where I went through web dev, SEO, online marketing, and I could say it's not for everybody, diba?
Yes.
It's if you're not, I consider myself a geek, so I'm pretty technically inclined, and I'd say it's more it fits me because I'm good with computers, but for other people, they can specialize in other areas. Like you said, bookkeeping, there's writing, even updating WordPress. That's not very technical, but somebody can still specialize in that area. There's so many different areas. Like what you said, 6 months, that's a good amount of time to figure out where you really fit. Because if people jump into SEO, and like you said, you've heard complaints na mahirap, there's a lot of competition, may mga scammers. And if you're not good at it, you're gonna fail talaga, diba?
Oh, a sure way to failure.
Especially with something as critical as SEO, whereas if you mess up, then you can really mess up big time, diba?
Oo. Especially kung medyo high ticket item. I mean, sorry sa term. High ticket na projects. Sabihin na natin 1,500 or 1,500 USD per month ang kontrata mo sa isang client. Kailangan on point lahat ng strategies mo.
Yeah.
Kasi once na nagkamali ka and once na
na de-index yung client sa search engine, especially sa very first page ng Google search results, for sure you'll get fired.
Hindi lang fired. The business owner would want to kill you if that happens.
1,500 USD. And kung di pa sila kontento doon, dun sa ilans na ilalapit nila doon sa arbitrage na department. Kukunin nila lahat yung binayad nila sa iyo. So, fired ka na, i-refund nila yung binayad sa iyo na natrabaho mo. At the same time, bibigyan ka nila ng bad feedback.
Yeah.
So, tatlo yung pwede mangyari. So, sa mga listeners, maging patient lang and hanapin yung pwedeng i-specialize. Ang dami dyan. Maging open and paminsan-minsan baguhin yung approach. Hindi lang mano-mano lagi.
Yeah. So I think we covered a lot today. We talked about some specific action items that a lot of listeners can put into action, even starting today. Do you have any final advice for us before we end this interview?
Bukod sa patience, ang final advice ko is be you. I strongly suggest not to copy any Upwork profile, freelancer profile. Huwag niyong gawin yun. Huwag kayong pumunta sa route na yun kasi babalik. Just be you. And kung nahirapan ka na i-discover what's really you, mag-start ka sa mga maliliit na projects. Later on, malalaman mo naman talaga kung ano talaga pwedeng i-specialize. Pero ang pinaka-importante, maging totoo ka lang.
Nice. Okay, that's some really good advice. Thanks once again, Jason, for sharing all this knowledge and best practices, and you have a great day.
Yeah. Thank you. Thanks, Jason.
All right.
Really appreciate it. Yeah.
Thank you for listening to the Virtual Assistant Podcast. To view the show notes for this episode and more interviews, articles, and information about the virtual assistant career, head over to vapodcast.net.